Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 284. Oh, by the way, the camera is off-centered.
What's that? Sorry, say again?
Oh, the camera was off-centered. It was cutting off the top of your head.
Oh, sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 284. I am Keith Andrew, along here with Lora and Melvin, and I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Hey.
Now, for people who want to know what my talk show is about, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still overcome controversy and reach my goals in life. At the same time, I'm able to turn myself into a perfect example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities. But you should never give up or have people label you, and you should prove to them you can still amount to something. With that being said, half hour of your time. It's freedom of speech, freedom of self-expression. That's why I choose the theme of uncensored. And starting off, how did you guys start your career, number one? And was there anyone that influenced you?
Well, I'm originally from the Philippines. I was on vacation here. Growing up, I've always idolized Lea Salonga, who was the first Kim in Miss Saigon, and I've always wanted to be like her. I didn't know how, but as a girl from the Philippines, I was like, well, she did it. Maybe I can do it too if I could do it locally, maybe. So I've always been inspired by her, but I didn't actually think of going for it as my profession up until after college, and I was on vacation in New York. We met, and then I asked him to take my picture in the streets of New York, and that supposedly 1 to 2 month vacation became a 6-month vacation because we just met and fell in love. And in that 6 months, I was encouraged by some Filipino-American actors who were in the industry to audition for the American Musical and Dramatic Academy, and I was like, well, why not? Let's see what happens. And the rest is history, I guess. I went to school there. I got a scholarship. I went to the American Musical Dramatic Academy in New York, and I graduated in 2008 and for musical theater. And I guess I've been working in the field since. And Melvin.
Oh, how I got into acting and stuff, I guess?
Yeah.
Is that what? Okay. So I guess when I was a little kid, I saw I've always been into movies and TV and stuff. And then I think when I was younger, I saw commercials, real young, with kids playing with toys. And I wanted to be how do you get to be on commercials? And they're like, oh, they paid kids to do that. And so I think very long, I was well, then if you're going to pay someone to do it, I want to play with toys on whatever and stuff. And that seems like a cool job. So, so I've kind of always been into it. I guess I started doing it when I was probably middle school, high school, doing the whole getting headshots taken and going auditioning and that whole thing. And then I kind of always just kept plugging along at it. And I mean, over the years I've had other various survival jobs. But yeah, I mean that's basically just kept on keeping on, I guess, this whole time.
Well, if you don't mind, I know this is going to sound like an oxymoron, so if you don't mind, I'm just going to throw it out there. You do have the part of looking like a martial artist.
Yeah. I know, I should. I've done stuff where I've been a henchman here or there and that kind of thing before. I have very minimal martial arts training. I should do more of it, because it's definitely something that marketability-wise, I think that's something that's kind of goes to my look. But I've always been super into martial arts movies and action movies and fight choreography and that whole thing.
I was actually surprised because, he grew up here, but he knew more about Hong Kong movies, Japanese movies. I grew up in the Philippines, and I just know a couple, but he was so steeped into film culture, Asian film culture. Right. I was just I was really impressed. I was like, wow.
Well, yeah, I think I realized early on that if you wanted to watch movies with people that look like you had to go find foreign films. At least for me. And then so I was, I grew up in like the 80s, 90s, so like the video store culture was a big thing, and so like I would seek out samurai movies and kung fu movies and Bruce Lee and like the Hong Kong, like I was like third wave like 90s Hong Kong directors that was like kind of popular in like the probably the early to mid 90s, I would say. The Choi Hawks, Wong Kar Wai, John Woo's, like all those. And then Jackie Chan, Donnie Yen, Jet Li were getting big then too. So it was just like the perfect storm. Like I grew up and like started getting into like kind of a little bit more grown up narrative and film and culture and music, and just as like kind of like a big Asian boom was happening in the 90s. So yeah, I was always super into that whole scene the whole time. And yeah, I think that was another part of why I like wanted to be into it, wanted to get into like the whole like film television thing. So yeah, that's what we're doing now, basically.
Yeah, just
to some degree.
Going for dreams while we do babysitting and all the other survival jobs. Sure. But it's just part of being an actor until you like hit your big break.
Well, do you guys do you think you made your big break, or do you think you're still on the tip of the iceberg?
I think when you're an actor, you're also a professional auditioner most of the time. So unless like people, you become like a household name of some sort. That's not even. There's like a lot of like steady working actors that are not necessarily household names.
People that are regular day players, and people do commercials regularly, stuff like that, which is great. Yeah.
Like as long as we just like keep on keeping on, it's fine. But I would consider I would say I achieved at least part of my dreams when I finally got to take the stage as Kim in Miss Saigon, which is my dream since I was 5 years old. I wouldn't say oh, that was my big break ever, because it was in some regional theater outside of New York, but it was definitely a dream come true for me when I first played Kim in Miss Saigon, and I got to do it another time in Colorado, and it's been my dream role, dream show. It's like magic for me. Yeah, going to rehearsal every day was like going to Disneyland. It was just I can't believe it's happening. So yeah, for a girl that's come from the Philippines, who dreamed of doing this since she was 5, yeah, I would consider that a dream come true. One thing off the bucket list of things I want to do as an actor. Yeah, and now I'm actually I've done more theater. I've been working in theater since 2008. I haven't really gone into more film up until just the last 2 years or so. So that's something I definitely want to tap into more. I'm filming a web series right now, and I've done several shorts, but I'm discovering this new passion for something other than theater, and I think that's really cool.
Well, if you guys are ever in the area, we should definitely hang out.
Where are you from?
Oh, have you ever been to Woodbury Commons?
Where's that?
Is that New Jersey? Is that?
No, that's, where in the city are you based?
We're in Harlem.
Alright, so from there, it's about 2 hours, I think, going east or north. That's near, going up towards, the Catskills.
Oh, in New York State. Okay, yeah.
Sure, if there's a Comic-Con there or something.
Yeah, I mean, if we're ever in the neighborhood, sure. Yeah, so why not?
we're the biggest nerds.
Yeah.
So I think that's something worth mentioning about us. So there's a fun whatever Comic-Con event,
video games,
we're there in cosplay,
sci-fi, fantasy nerds.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, we should definitely hang out because in this coming May. Do you know where you heard of Poughkeepsie, right?
Poughkeepsie, I've heard of it, yeah.
Now, in Poughkeepsie, they're having their second annual Comic-Con.
Oh, wow. Cool.
I'm trying to get a hold of it.
We're not busy. What's May like?
You said it's in May?
Yes.
May next year?
Yeah, I mean, just because of the way the work works, we're not really sure what we're doing until, at least a few weeks before, but that's definitely something
a day before.
Yeah, sometimes a day before.
When you book something, and
Right.
He just like for example, he just got called in to do what?
Well, they just asked me my availability. I don't know what
work.
it was.
That was yesterday, and it was like good, consistent, like I guess stand-in work, but we were already going to California.
Well, the conjecture is they asked me if I have availability, but the conjecture was it was probably might have been for the same. I don't know for certain if it was for the same stand-in work, but perhaps.
Yeah, but that's just we're kind of used to it. Like
right. I feel like every time I go on a trip, I get an audition.
I'm the same. The moment like
call back or book something, and you're like, I can't.
The moment like I take a job out of town, for example, is like when someone would call me, "Hey, you booked this commercial." I'm like, "What? Why? Why is it like that?"
That's the way it is.
Like laws of attraction or something. When you're gone, there's more work. I don't know.
You guys are probably gonna think I'm an idiot, but I love the whole Asian thing. I think white people are boring.
No, man, you guys have some. There's Tarantino, and you guys have some amazing filmmakers. White people are great. I like white people. It's not boring at all. No,
I don't think so.
Some of my favorite filmmakers are white. I like Kevin Smith a lot. I like Quentin Tarantino a lot. Christopher Nolan makes amazing white movies. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of good white entertainment out there. So it's true.
That's funny, but
yeah.
Anyway,
actually, I'm gonna pass the show over to you now. Like I said,
George Lucas.
That's true.
Oh, sorry.
Don't worry about it. I'm gonna pass the show over to you. Like I said,
you supported. You want me to hold it?
That's okay.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I just was talking about dropping the phone and if that's...
Yeah, I was asking if he was getting tired because I could take over.
So you said you wanted to pass... you said you wanted to pass the show for what? Sorry.
I was going to pass the show over to you guys. Like I said, you're supporting a good cause, making a new friend out of it. Was there anything you guys wanted to promote? Anything you want to ask me? Gloves off. You can ask me anything you want.
Oh. So you say you have a learning disability? Which one is it?
Alright, well... I'm pretty much like you guys, only I learn at a slower pace.
Okay.
So you guys would be like a 10, I would be like a 5 or a 6.
Okay.
So for a perfect example, you guys are reading a script, and you have this book, it's like, okay, but for me, we would have to sit down and go over it page by page. I learn more like hands-on.
Okay, that's cool.
And go ahead.
Oh no! I was just curious, and I think what you're doing is great. I have a baby brother. He's not. Well, he doesn't have.
He's not a baby. He's a younger brother. He's 22.
He just turned 22, but he has Down syndrome. But he loves people, and he loves talking to people who he has a lot of talents, and he was telling me he wanted to go to New York and perform, and part of me just was like, you know what, she should totally go to New York and have an open mic night. And I think that's what it shouldn't really he never thought having Down syndrome would stop him from doing anything. And the thing is he's been around such encouraging family members that he's able to do whatever he puts his mind into. He taught himself how to skateboard. He could hit 3-pointers at a basketball because he practices every day, and he plays the drums really well, and he's just musically talented. So I think it's really inspiring. That just go for it, right? Just do it.
No, absolutely. Labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And you're supposed to prove to them. Yeah, I'll give you a perfect example. My school, basically, I don't want to bitch to you guys, so I'll just give you the highlights. Basically, my school just pushed me along and said I was never going to amount to anything. And, they wrote down in their records that I was mentally disturbed, retarded, and I wasn't going to accomplish anything. And like you said, you have family members who are very supportive, unfortunately for me, it's the opposite. They just like throwing dirt at me. But, this is just my way of saying, hey, people may not have a higher expectation of me, but it's my way of showing you, I can still amount to something, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, of course. What does the Khalil say? Like, he has, like, a thing. We have a little boy. His name is Khalil, like, after Superman. Like, Superman's Kryptonian name. He's like, he has this thing that he always repeats. It's like, anybody could do anything, like, something like that. And he sings about it, like...
I think he got it from one of the
like Daniel Tiger. It's the most adorable thing because like he would say it sometimes the most random times, and like sometimes like that's what I needed to hear.
Everybody has a thing
everyone is big enough to do anything.
Something.
But he would say everyone is big enough to do anything, and I was just like, oh.
No, it's do something.
To do something. Yeah. To do something.
To do something.
To do something. I don't even know.
Yeah, everyone can do something. That's absolutely that's so true.
Well, so for a perfect example, your brother's more than welcome to be a guest on my show. I interviewed actors, actresses, models, CEOs. Pretty much I interview everyone who wants to have a normal conversation, making new friends, support a good cause. I interview people with disabilities, people without disabilities. And it's funny, but it's not funny. But when I first approached you, and I explained my show to both of you, did you really think, and I get this a lot, it's like, I read your message, it's really good, but I don't have a disability, or I have other people like, oh my god, how did you know I have a learning disability? And I was actually talking about myself, but okay, thanks.
I could see how it could have been interpreted that way, but I was like, funny. Well, you just added me, so you like, I don't, but I was like, oh, he can't possibly be talking about me. Because like we just met. Yeah. But yeah, I could see how some other people could read it like that though.
You can never tell just by looking at someone what their situation is. Yeah. You know what I mean? If you have a picture or whatever, you just can't.
One of the most talented writers that I know, we did a reading of a new show just this August. He actually is dyslexic, but he is one of the most like talented up-and-coming writers that I know of. Yeah. So, it could be, like Khalil said, anyone is big enough to do something.
Now, wrapping up,
do something.
Before we wrap up the show, I do want to have one more question for you. I took this from the Factor, so all rights go to him.
Excuse me.
So, going on the record, as Bill Roy does the hand sign, going on the record, when I first approached you guys, what was your honest opinions of me? And after doing the interview, how do you feel now? You can say whatever you want.
I didn't know this. I was kind of like sort of taking a nap a little bit, and then
he has no idea what's going on.
So your first impression was this guy talking on the Skype. I don't know, man. At first impression, I thought it was like, oh, who's this guy? He's got a Daredevil shirt on, so he's okay in my book. That's my first impression. And to learn that you have a learning disability and then that you're doing that, that's great. It's very encouraging. I'm very impressed with what you're doing with yourself. And
when you first messaged me, I think I saw we have like 2 mutual friends or something. We do, right? We do?
Oh, I have my main page, and then I have my throwaway page. Okay. So my throwaway page is just where I'm looking for people. Now I'm going to add you guys to my main page.
Okay. So I think we have like 2 mutual friends, so I was like, okay. And then
you weren't sure if you knew each other?
I wasn't sure if we met. Like, sometimes you meet people after a show or after your show, and you just like maybe like got acquainted. So I always check like, oh, do we have a mutual friend or whatever? And we did. So, and then I read your message, and I was like, oh, that sounds good. Like, as a girl, always you kind of always kind of also have your guard up because you like just instinctively like.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of weirdos out there. Sure, of course.
But you like explain it like upfront, like, oh, this is whatever, and then like you were very like professional about it. Like, you even like sent me that contract, so I was like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, let's see. Like, what's the worst that could happen? It's a Skype interview. But, like, I don't know. Like, I saw your picture. I saw we had mutual friends. You, like, explained to me in detail. So I was like, okay, this guy's okay in my book. So, yeah. I mean, I'm sorry it took this while. We were so busy because we were leaving for California for a week. So, yeah, I've been really busy, like, the last few weeks. But this is the perfect day. And we're baby free. We're going to pick him up later in New Jersey. So otherwise there will be like a little one like
running around, screaming.
Running around. So you caught us at the perfect time.
Right, yeah. It's my first day off in like a few days, so.
Yeah. Anyway, it was great talking to you though, Keith.
No, you too. Now before
I love what you're doing. Keep going. Keep doing it.
No, I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to building a friendship with you guys.
Yeah.
But before we go, I do want to talk about social media real fast, and I'm going to pass the show over to you one more time.
Okay.
It's, I always use LinkedIn in Stage 32, and, LinkedIn, okay, it's professional. You're only on there because, you're professional. But, you do come across people that do abuse it. You think this person's actually a CEO, it's actually a 14-year-old. But most recently, I've been using Facebook, and Facebook can go either way. Uh-huh. So far, I've been lucky for the most part, knock on wood. But for your fans out there, are you on Twitter, LinkedIn, Stage 32? How can your fans connect with you?
Go.
I don't have. I have a Facebook page. It's Facebook.com/1, the number 1, and Lora Nicolas, and my Lora is Lora. My Nicolas is without an H, and it's one word. So 1, Lora Nicolas. I also have a website. It's www.loranicolas, LORANICOLAS.com. And then I have 2 Instagrams. One is like my personal, like it has my family and my friends. It's the Lora. It's the_low, LOWRAH. And I have my daily casual cosplays. Okay, so basically the concept behind it is I casually cosplay as something from nerd, geeky culture. Sometimes I throw in some musical theater in there because I'm also a musical theater person. So, but the idea is I casually cosplay, like, what would these characters be wearing if they're, just being them walking the streets of New York. You know what I mean? So, kind of like a downplayed version of their costumes or whatever. So that's the idea, and it's called Daily Casual Cosplays, and you could find that on Instagram. Wow, I have a lot. When you first asked me that question, like, how could fans connect with you? Like, my mind went blank, because I was like, what fans? But, yeah, I actually do have a lot of social media, but that was...
I don't have any fans.
Yeah. Well, Melvin has a Twitter. I have a Twitter, too, but I don't really use it.
Yeah, I rarely use my Twitter. My Twitter is Mondo Melvin, Mondo Melvin, Melvin. And then I have an Instagram, which is just the Melv, THEMELV. But yeah, I'm not really super... And I have a website that's not up yet, so I'm working on that. So it's not even whatever. But yeah, I'm not really super good at that marketing aspect of the business, which is like so much of it now.
Yeah, I don't even use, like, I know, well, I'm supposed to have it because, like, being musical theater, we have to have reels up there and stuff. I'm sure, like, as film, like, TV, too, like, you need some kind of reel. He has to get that started. But for musical theater,
I have a reel, but that's...
To even sometimes get the appointment, like, you have some kind of, like, online presence so they could, like, click, oh, she could sing. Okay, we could call her in. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just part of the biz, and that's why I decided, but, like... But I'm not, like, actively, like, oh, I have to get a lot of followers because I don't want it to take over my life. Like, if they want to follow me, they could follow me. And if not, you don't have to. Maybe I shouldn't say that in a live interview. I'm a mom. I have so much other things to do. So many other things to do, to be honest, than seek followers or whatnot. Jesus had 12. Hitler had what? Like millions.
Hey, freedom of speech, freedom of self-expression. But stay tuned. I do have a couple questions for you off the air. Wrapping up the interview segment, it was a real honor and privilege to have you guys on.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
All right.
Take it easy.
Take it easy.